This is a 35mm to 4K digital video scanning process at Scanners Inc. based in Canada. We're going to be talking to Peter Aldanmaz and Lincoln Barrett from Scanners Inc. all about their new venture, starting with a screening of their 4K DCP of Roger Avary's Killing Zoe at the Prince Charles Cinema just off Leicester Square in the West End of London. Right, Peter, why are we here at the Prince Charles Cinema?
We are here for the presentation of Killing Zoe, my 35mm scan of Killing Zoe. That's why we're here.
And it's going to be interesting for all of us to see what it looks like, isn't it?
Well,
it's a big unknown, really, isn't it?
It's going to be a little bit interesting for me. Now, I know it's played at the Texas Cinema. It's played at a couple other cinemas, and the reviews have been amazing. All I've been hearing is your prints look beautiful. It has a very filmic look, and if I'm not mistaken, when it played at the Texas Cinema, the reviews on Letterboxd were just through the roof. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that everything looks nice and plays nice, because DCPs can be funny. And this is the first time I've actually presented a digital film. Generally, I present film. So this is going to be interesting for me.
And I think part of the reason this came about, you grabbed the attention of Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avary.
Yes.
I think it was Roger Avary first. And this, therefore, has turned into a fully authorized DCP of his great classic.
Yes, and honestly, I have to give Roger, and especially Gala Avary, a lot of love, because honestly, this whole thing started with just two film nerds. Two guys in their basement who love cinema, who are cinephiles. And I started scanning movies as a hobby. And one day I decided to contact Roger on Twitter. And with a lot of these filmmakers, artists, they won't even give you the time of day. But these guys, honestly, they went out of their way to contact me, give me the okay to scan it, and were fully behind my scan and have been championing it since I did it for them. And it's really been such an impactful thing in my life, because I'm a musician, but film is my true love. And these guys gave me another opportunity to have another chance at celebrating cinema again. So I'm very thankful.
Yeah. And shortly we're going to go in and you're going to introduce this
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit nervous for it. You know, I'm usually playing to like 2,000-3,000 people. I don't get nerves. But speaking to 50 people in a cinema, yeah, a little nervous, but I'll be okay.
Peter from Scanners Inc. I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I'm happy that it's in this cinema, because the last time I was here was for Barry Lyndon, and it was probably one of the most magical experiences I've ever experienced. So yeah, I'm happy it's in here. All of this really started with just two movie nerds in their basement, scanning movies, and one day I hit up Roger Avary on Twitter. He got back to me, and I asked him, can I scan Killing Zoe? And he was like, who the hell are you? And Gala was the one who actually really made things happen. And we scanned the movie, and Roger was very happy with the results. And they've been showing it everywhere, and we're just very happy to be here. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I live here part-time. And the Prince Charles is a place I come quite a bit, especially when I'm homesick. And I've had a lot of very special moments here. And I know that the cinema is going through some things right now. I don't know exactly what it's going through. But do your best to try to support this place. Do everything you can. Make some noise. And one last thing is, everybody, please give love to the projectionists. And if there's kids out there, young guys, try to learn how to become a projectionist, because that is a dying art. And when these projectionists pass, we're going to need to have new projectionists, because we want to display film. Anyways, thank you guys. Big love.
Scanners Inc. Print the legend.
So you guys just came back from Killing Zoe. What do you guys think of the movie?
Great movie. I've got it on Blu-ray, so it was great to see like a 4K theatrical scan. Really appreciate you doing this.
Maybe the best film I've ever seen, but it was quite difficult to watch.
Wow, it was amazing, man. Amazing.
So intense.
Yeah,
I'm
it's ultraviolet,
shaking.
right? They don't make movies like that anymore.
I loved it. I thought it was hilarious, and there were times when I was laughing and I didn't know if I should be laughing.
What do you think of the movie?
Fantastic. I feel like I'd seen it before, probably a scarred memory from my childhood maybe. I absolutely love the texture, the sound, how it looks kind of grainy and gritty, and just what a plot. Fantastic story.
So you enjoyed yourself?
I loved it, yeah. Good work.
Big love.
Gritty.
Gritty. This is
Gritty.
the first time you've seen it?
Yes, but I love the. Yeah, I don't want to keep using the word gritty, but the sort of 90s feel was so true, so pure. I feel privileged to have watched it.
I love the last line, "Let me show you the real Paris." I thought that was brilliant.
Peter and I did talk again after the screening, but so much has happened since then that we decided more was required, and hence we arranged a conference call which would give us the opportunity to include another key Scanners Inc. team member, Lincoln Barrett. First of all, I wanted to ask how Peter felt about the Prince Charles Cinema screening of Killing Zoe.
The screening was really good. It went down very well, actually. I was actually quite worried because they changed the theater. It went from Cinema 1, then it went to Cinema 2, which I prefer. Actually, my favorite theater at the Prince Charles is Cinema 2. And I had mentioned there that I'd seen Barry Lyndon. And so I was quite happy it was in there, but I was a little worried that no one was going to show, just because the tickets were a little bit slow. But I was surprised when it was sold out. Like, it was pretty much, I mean, you were there. Was there?
Yeah, there's very few spare seats that I could see. Quite surprised.
Overall, I was also worried. I mean, like I said, I mentioned to you, like, DCPs can be a little bit funny. Like, if you make a DCP, you really must know what you're doing, and it's paramount that you test it. So we had tested it at the Kingsway, but you never know, right? I just didn't want any kind of glitch ups or anything like that. And I mean, overall, the print looked fabulous. Like, it looked like a film print. Other than, like, let's say, unless you're a real like ed for the format, like, there was no flickering. The sound was clean because we had used the Laserdisc sound.
Yeah, that's worth talking about, Peter. How on earth did you get that sound onto there? Because in Italian print, presumably Italian dubbed sound.
So basically, when it comes to the tech stuff, editing, if there's any kind of restoration, color, Lincoln is the magician when it comes to that. And, he's in the background, and I don't know if I could see him, or I can't really see him, but he does all the audio syncing. So maybe he could explain it, actually.
Yeah, taking the audio from Laserdisc is the general route, because with Laserdisc, it seems like Peter, you can confirm this, that it's often the kind of purest version of the film's audio track, and sounds most like the version you would hear on a print. Is that right, Pete?
Generally, especially if you're going for a nostalgic feel, Laserdisc would be the most accurate.
Well, it was the original theatrical soundtracks on Laserdisc, wasn't it? It's a new phenomenon to do all these near-field mixes, as they're called, for a later phenomenon.
Exactly. But, of course, the NTSC discs are running at like 23 points. Yeah. And then the PAL ones are going to be 25 frames a second.
Yes.
And then, of course, when you're dealing with prints, there's going to be missing frames here and there where projectionists have had to cut out something, and then the reel jumps. So it's never going to be a 1-to-1 with what you have from the Laserdisc audio. And so it ends up being quite a laborious task of basically like having to make sure every shot virtually is in sync, and I'm having to edit the audio to fit the print and the quirks of the print.
One splice can like totally drift off the whole audio. But yeah, sorry to cut off, Lincoln.
What makes it easier is if you have the say you had the audio from the print and it was in English, but say it wasn't good enough quality, and you were replacing it with another source. Well, at least you've got that version there to match it up, and especially with people talking. But when it's in another language, like an Italian or German print, you don't have that as a guide. What can come in handy is the little sound effects. So if someone fires a gun or closing a door or something, you can line up those bigger points where you see the transient on the waveform. That can be very useful. But when you're in like a long dialogue scene where there's not much else happening, it's very fiddly.
We had seen it 1 million times before the Prince Charles. But I was worried that there was going to be like some sound syncing issues, but it played perfect. I mean, you were there, John. I mean,
It was John wouldn't have known it was even done that way. And what was possibly even or as clever as that was getting the subtitles on there, because there are basically it's in a foreign language in some parts, isn't it? Because it's over in Paris, so they're talking a bit of French, and you don't realize until you see it without the subtitles. Holy cow, you haven't got a clue what's going on.
There's a funny story to all of this subtitle. So actually, Roger, from what I'm aware, and maybe Dala could verify, but this is what I understood. Roger actually went back in on the subtitles for Killing Zoe, and he was apparently not happy with how the translation of the original one was. Again, I have to confirm, but this is 90%. This is what I understood. So he redid all of the subtitles, and then actually, what Gala did was Gala lined it up as an SRT, but then she sent it back. But then we had an issue, right? And these are the little little things that like people don't really see when you're making up these kind of things. So like I was like, okay, this is confusing. Actually, Lincoln figured out how you can sync it so it's in perfect sync in the movie. But then the real true hero behind all of this and how he made the subtitles look really, really nice, perfect timing. And if you notice, the font is really nice. I can't remember what exactly one he used was Rui from Kingsway. He's the wizard when making DCPs and digital cinema packages.
Roger wanted Futura Extra Bold as the font, which is the classic Kubrick font.
It looked nice, actually. I actually kind of noticed the font.
Well, the whole thing looked nice. It was just like looking at a film. If I hadn't known, I'd just thought I was looking at a general release print, which is different to the first generation master print. But
realistically, like that version probably looks better than any other version people saw. Like the version on mass release in Britain and America, it wasn't that technical a version. So it's great to have that version of the film of what was an almost kind of lost film at this point. And
it's pretty shocking because it was a big movie back in the day. But yeah, essentially now it's a lost print. Like people, like there's been virtually no 35mm screenings of it, and the one print that we do have is not even an English print; it's an Italian print.
Well, I think it was telling at the end that in a British cinema there was a round of applause.
Yes, I wish we had that recorded.
In the UK, that's more unusual.
Yeah, I'd never, even at Barry Lyndon, they didn't clap.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's not completely unknown, but it's a rare thing for an audience to applaud. So I think we can say we're pleased with how it went, Peter.
Totally. it went high, way beyond expectation.
Yes, and it looks like as a result of that, there's going to be more interest in PCPs from you.
We've been getting a lot of requests for rules of attraction. So with credit to the Video Archives family and Roger and Gala and the screening at the PCC, there has been some momentum and there has been a buzz about these scans. And while I was touring, we also had a DCP of Dario Argento's Deep Red that just played, and that's the 50th year anniversary of the movie. And apparently that was a smash. Like, people were very happy with the print. So we've been getting a bunch of programmers and cinemas contacting us about DCPs. I mean, right now we have about 3 that we're offering. We're going to be having much more when we know what our plans are and what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do. But right now we have 3 that's circulating. I think Lincoln, right? 3, right, Lincoln?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 that's circulating that, like, you know, we got the okay from. And like, even with like with the Deep Red one, like any screening, it obviously has to get the director's approval and then studio's approval. It has to be in like a legit cinema theater license. But everyone's been very happy. And since then, we've been getting lots of inquiries, tons. Like, I mean, like I've got like 5 or 6 in my inbox of just, can we have a DCP of either of those 3 films?
And I think that unit behind you is where all the magic happens.
Oh, yeah. Right now, actually, she's going to be going back into the shop. My friend Gary and we are actually, I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to move the rear motor wheel. We need to tweak that a little bit. And because the thing with scanning, and like, I think Lincoln can even vouch for this, it's kind of an ongoing process. Like, yes, it looks really good, but we keep kind of improving it, and we keep noticing, like, okay, well, how can we improve this machine? Like, each time we'll notice, okay, this is, you know, this needs a little bit of a tweak, but yeah, no, we're gonna change the motor on the back, and little minor things we're gonna change, but yeah, I mean, this is her, the HC-17. This is the Frankenstein machine that we built.
And it's basically a Victoria 5 that's modified.
Very much.
Yes. But that's basically a 35mm projector with the sort of ultimate quality digital stills camera looking down the aperture. That's about the summary of it, isn't it?
We just kept everything very simple. And I'll be honest, like, we're very lucky. Well, I'm very lucky. We're very lucky that, you know, I have a friend that works at a cinema. I have another friend that is also a person who collects film and has a projector and has access to these things. Like, okay, so like, the one thing is like, okay, this is very cool, but like, good luck finding a projector, like 35mm projector that works, and try shipping that. Like, let's say you find one on eBay. Like, I mean, the shipping will be probably worth more than the projector.
Maybe is there anything else we need to say, like you probably want to say? It's because the cool people are Roger Avery and that.
So, I mean, just like, you know, very much appreciated to like Roger and Gala for the opportunity. Like I said, Lincoln and I are just, we're musicians, right? But like, at the end of it, we're just cinephiles. Like, we're fans of the genre. The genre means a lot to us. So it's just really cool that, like, you know, this guy who's won an Oscar and he's made these iconic films just trusted these 2 guys that he doesn't even know with his piece of art. And with Lincoln and I both being artists, we get that. It is a kind of a sensitive thing, and for him to just trust us, it means a lot to us. And another thing is a big shout to the Prince Charles. Like, the staff there was Chevy, Dusty, Phil, James, and Paul. Everybody was so nice. Everyone was really cool. Everybody was really relaxed. And also, number one, like, Paul, who is and there's Sven Isbell as well. But Paul, you know, the big credit really goes to Paul, because this is a new concept, what we're doing. Like, this isn't like, it's not normal for cinemas to do this, right? So when Paul and I connected, he was very aware to what I was doing already. And I give him a lot of thanks and for the opportunity for us to be able to display this at a cinema. So it means a lot.
Well, I think it's going to make a lot of people happy around the world. They can go to a cinema and see a film, even though it might be getting video projected. But to me, it looked pretty much like I was watching a film. And as I said, I would have been convinced it was a film if I hadn't have known.
One other really cool thing about this whole process that we're doing, and honestly, Lincoln deserves 100% credit when it comes to this. When we buy these lots of films, like, you know, sometimes we buy one film, sometimes we have to buy a lot of films, like a lot as in like 20 or 15 or whatever. And sometimes we'll get prints. Deep Red is a great example where you look at the print and you're like, you can't show this print to the public. It's too magenta, it's too color shifted, and Lincoln literally will go in there and he makes magic happen. He restores these movies, and that is another major big plus, because he's able to go in and take these films, and what he's doing is, and Lincoln, you can talk on this. Like, I mean, this is what you do. What do you do, Lincoln?
I do appreciate old prints, you know, that are a bit battered and faded, but sometimes it goes too far, and a print has you know gotten to the point where it's quite solidly red or magenta.
Deep red, even.
Yeah, and like this deep red print had gone deep red, and really it was unshowable. And when Peter sent me a sample of it scanned, you know, he was like, "This, there's no point doing this whole movie, is there? Because this is it's not usable." But once I opened it up in DaVinci Resolve to do the color correction, I was amazed at how much of the color information was actually still there. And I love doing this process, because you find a print that you think is, you know, all is lost, but actually somehow it's still in there. The analog information is still there, and you can pull back the colors.
It's amazing. I mean, Deep Red was honestly the worst I'd ever seen it. Like, I was just like, there's no point in doing this. This movie is it's just trash. Like, I was like, this is garbage. And I think minutes later, Lincoln was like, he sent me a picture, and I don't know, remember my first response, but I think it was like, what's this, the Blu-ray? Or what is this? Like, is this like a reference? He's like, no, I was able to color warp or something the picture. And I was like, okay, wait a second. We're doing something. I know what, you know, everybody says what we're doing is important, but I'm like, wait a second. This might be the most underrated part of what we do, where we are saving these destroyed prints essentially, and we're bringing light back to it. So.
And I mean, if people out there have prints that they think are lost causes, please don't throw them. You know, like I hate to think of like prints over the years that have been trashed because, you know, people are just like, oh, it's not screenable anymore. But, you know, we can scan it, we can pull the color back. So, you know, if anyone's got like The Exorcist or something on 35, you know, do let us know.
Like, Exorcist would be a great example, because and Quentin had even mentioned it, that the original 73 version is very rare to get, like, apparently. And the ones that are available have they're very faded. I mean, John, I think you were even mentioning to me that a lot of those prints are very faded from that mid 70s era. So I feel like movies like The Exorcist, just that era, that there's so much that could be saved. And I think it's the most underrated thing that we do within this process that, you know, we don't talk about as much.
Just scanning a film right here. It's Scanners Inc. Here is a look at my custom HC17. As you can see right there, the film is getting cleaned right there before it hits the gate.
So there we are. I think that brings us to the end of that look at how Scanners Inc. are doing 35mm cine to video transfers to 6K digital video, which are then shrunk down to 4K digital video. DCPs are created, and now just a few of them are getting out to cinemas here in Britain and America, hopefully giving some of us the chance to see these classic films as they were once seen when they were first released, more or less how they looked when they were first released to cinemas in the UK and in America. So what is most amazing is it's just a group of enthusiasts, and I just find this so incredible. But there you are, it's happening. Hopefully more will come of it. I've very much enjoyed putting this video together. It's taken quite a lot of work, quite a lot of time, but hopefully some of you out there will like it too. And if you do, please hit that thumbs up button, that icon. And if you haven't already subscribed, now will be the time to do so, because I just feel like I need a bit of encouragement to get out there and create more content like this in the future. Hopefully that'll be coming. I'll keep going with the 4K digital video UHD reviews and film reviews, other things that come along. But until the next video, bye bye for now.